Peace and blessings. My name is Carlos Walker, and this is Black Authors Matter. And today I got Mr. Cenas Edwards with me. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing perfect. Look, we woke up this morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a blessing.
So, if you will, before we start, share a little bit about who you are and what you do.
All right. My name is Cenas Edwards. I'm the CEO and founder of Nola Keys Music, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We give free music lessons to kids all throughout the city of New Orleans. We also give out instruments as well. We give out scholarships. And now we have books now, so we're starting our new book series. The first one is The Little Music Boy, which is me. It tells you about my life story just growing up in New Orleans, which is a major city for music. And I have this thing that we're going by now. What is New Orleans without music? When you're thinking about jazz music, when you're thinking about, hip hop music, when you're thinking about second line music, just all kind of music, gospel music. What is New Orleans without music? So just growing up, in the hood and different things like that, music was my outlet. It helped me with mental health. It helped me with stress. It helped me, when I was depressed. It helped me through all kind of different things. And if I didn't have music, if music wasn't introduced to me at an early age, man, I probably wouldn't even be here sitting in front of you right now.
Mm, that's powerful. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is, "Your gift will make room for you and put you before great men." As I
Yes,
can
sir.
see, music has been your gift, and what it has done is freed you.
Yep.
From the way you just spoke that and told me, it has freed you from the things that happens in our environment. It's freed you mentally. It's freed you to be able to be you're a music coach, right?
Yep. So I'm a vocal music director. I'm the vocal music director at Edna Carr High School. I'm also the vocal music director at two churches as well too. So it literally has opened doors that I couldn't even imagine about. Just thinking about, man, it's opened so many doors. So just being able to be in a area in a city that love music, but also being able to travel around the world, doing the music and different things like that. Because music is universal, man. So it's something that is steady going around the world.
It's a language. Most people don't. To me, yes, you got English, you got Spanish, but what I learned is language is past information.
Yes,
And
sir.
when you actually think about how music, especially our music, has changed the culture and brought people in to understand our community and our culture, it's mind blowing how we've been able to correspond with people and share our experiences through our language.
Yes, sir.
So let's get into why we're here. We're here
Yes, sir.
because of your book. If you will share a little bit about your book and even take us on a journey, the journey of the little what is what's the name of it again?
The little music boy.
Take us on the journey of the little music boy.
Man, listen, The Little Music Boy is a powerful book. I encourage all parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers to get the book for their kids. It's a powerful story about my life just growing up in New Orleans. If you know New Orleans, you know New Orleans is a tough city to live in, to be brought up in. You're thinking about music, we had some great, great, artists that came out of New Orleans. When you're thinking about No Limit, when you're thinking about Cash Money, when you're thinking about, iconic people that, made the world go around, like that put New Orleans on the map, and even currently, with Louisiana just in general, like, Baton Rouge, you got Boosie, you got Young Boy and stuff
Mhm.
like that, but, so music has always been in our blood, but my journey, it was a little different because I wasn't in hip hop. I was actually playing piano. I was
Come on.
actually playing the drums. I was actually playing the guitar, which a lot of our kids don't get an opportunity to play because these instruments are expensive. Like lessons for piano lessons are expensive. Back in
Mhm.
the day, it was like maybe $45, $50 an hour. Now it's going up to like $75 an hour to get a qualified music educator that, have all the credentials that they're supposed to have. So growing up in New Orleans, man, I wasn't doing the things that were popular. I mean, I played basketball, which was popular, but me going to church every Sunday, my parents bringing me, to Bible study, to a rehearsal, me learning how to play these instruments. Some of my friends laughed at me. They was like, man, you going to piano lessons? Man, that's
Church,
for
call you
nerds.
church
That's
boy and everything.
church boy, man. Like, and them same friends, you know, when I first started learning, I didn't know that, I would make as much money that I could make.
Mhm.
I wasn't even doing it for the money. Like I would go to practice just to learn it because it was an instrument that was so powerful. And I learned at an early age, music is the only thing that have access to your soul without you giving it permission to. So the fact that, the music I listen to have access to my soul, I had to understand, you got to be careful what you listen to.
Come
So
on.
some of my friends, they was, laughing at me. Some people I knew, they was like, man, this dude going to church, he could playing the piano. Man, nobody don't play the piano. But them same friends that was laughing when we went to the skating ring, I went to the movies, they ain't have money.
Mm.
So they would come to me, man, I need the whole $10. I need the whole $5. I'm like, where your money at? I'm like, and I started at a young age. I was like maybe 10 or 11 years old. I'm making $50 an hour because I'm playing at church. $50 a Sunday. The pastor would give me something, and he would say, this is not nothing that's close to what you deserve, but we're doing this out of love because because of your craft. And that $50 grew to $100. So instead of me started playing at one church, I was playing at two churches, and that was $100, a week. For a kid that's 11, 12, 13 years old, that's a lot of money. So, you don't have no bills, you ain't going to pay for no clothes, yeah, you don't have to worry about none of that, So it brought me to a level to where, I was able to appreciate, you know, what I did, but also appreciate my parents pushing me and putting me in the piano lessons, in the drum lessons, whether I wanted to do it or not.
Come
It
on
was like
now.
a requirement that this is what you're going to do. You're going to do something that's going to have your mind to critically think, to understand what problem solving is, to understand how to be creative, how to be different. So I was, at first I was doing stuff to kind of fit in with the crowd, and but it wasn't working. So I was like, you know what, I got to stay true to who I am and
Hmm.
whose I am, and not do what everybody else is doing. And now to this day, those same friends that was laughing and talking about me and stuff like that, a lot of them are in jail. A lot of them are struggling. God forbid, some of them have passed away, and I don't wish that on nobody. But I'm like, if I would have went down their journey of what they was doing, and if I would have followed them, I probably would not be where I'm at right now,
Mm-mm.
in the director of different entities and stuff like that, and being able to actually write a book to tell my story. And I know I'm not the only person that have this story. It's a lot of kids that have a story. All kids have stories, but they don't have the
Mhm.
opportunity to share their story with the world. They don't have the opportunity to share their story, on the local level. And like I told one of my kids before, when I was actually in the process of writing the book, I said, this is not just a story for New Orleans. This is
Mm.
a story for the entire world.
Come on
Because I
now.
think this is bigger than just a local thing. It's something that we can do around the world because music is universal. So if I
Hmm.
could put the little music board and give a copy to every kid around the world, that's the plan. That's the goal. And it's going to happen. It's not going to happen overnight, but I know, my goal, my mission is to make sure that, whether I have to get investors, whether I have to get sponsors, whether, even if I have to come out of my pocket and put a little money on the side just to invest, 50 books here in this community, another 25 books in this community, another 100 books in this community, another 200 books in this community, to change the trajectory of what the people are saying about us, and making sure that we're able to not only change a child's life, but be able to change the next generation.
One, I want to commend you for a few things. One, sticking with your gift. I told you that Bible verse says your gift will make room for you and put you before a great man.
Yes, sir.
Your discipline, in spite of everybody else saying negative things, your discipline got you here. God being the one who orchestrated everything, but because you learned to work the gift at a young age, at the age of 10, you playing for one, two churches, learning that it can make room for you. Two, the great men and women that you are able to play in front of, that's not just famous people. It's those youth that they don't even know who they are. We don't even know who they are. Just like your parents could only know that they was giving you something when they was forcing you to do it. You
Hmm.
took the ability to say, you know what, I like this and I'm gonna ride this out. And it has benefited you in a way that, as you said, only God can actually get you here. So one, I just want to commend you, but two, I want to commend you for writing the book, because you're right. Everybody needs to hear this. Do you know how many, not just black, but do you know how many people that look like us will grasp a hold because they are different. They may play an instrument, whether it's the guitar, whether it's the piano, and this can take them to a different level only because they read your book. Number three, the fact that you want to give books away. You really don't, you know, but you really don't know how important that is.
Right.
Me being an author and me being one who has been blessed to be able to give over 18, just at 1800 so far, copies of one book.
Wow.
I don't know who I may have touched, but you, with the little music boy, you don't know just yet how many people you're going to touch by giving them a book and being able to sign it for them. You don't know how many readers you will start.
Right.
Not, not just people who will play instruments, but readers and writers that you will impact and start because they got to meet you. So I thank you for being who you are, man. That's
No,
from the
man, I
depth of my
appreciate it.
heart. I thank you for allowing God to use you because He's still using you. You gotta
Right.
look, the idea that you already got. I want you to know that it's going. Tupac said, I may not change the world, but I bet you I spark the mind that does." You're a world changer.
Right.
And I need to tell you that. That's the reason why I feel like God allowed us to be able to do this interview, is because I didn't know what I was coming into. I know, look, every writer and every person that I interview is impactful.
Right.
But
Right.
you in this book is going to be different. I haven't heard
Appreciate
a lot of authors that I've interviewed say they want to give books away. You may be the first that I've heard outside of me. And I can promise you, you're gonna do it. Investors and all, and I got a remedy. So I actually teach you what I do know. So then you can actually do that, start that as soon as you want to.
No, I appreciate it, bro. I definitely appreciate it, and that's the goal. And I right now, and I've been using this since I started my organization. We use the motto "Guns Down, Instruments Up." In New Orleans, man, New Orleans is filled with violence. It's
Hmm.
getting better now, but back in the day when I was growing up, man, we was the murder capital. It was
Hmm.
just everywhere you look, it was violence on this corner, that corner. And the book talks about that because my father went through some of the stuff. Thank God he's still here. But and that was some other traumatizing experiences that I had to go through as a child, growing up in the city. But our motto now is guns down, instruments up. And I was just telling Ross this the other day. I said, now we're taking it to the next level because Yes, guns down, instruments up. We've given out over 100 free instruments to the city, the kids in
Man,
New Orleans, you know. So now it's guns down, instruments up. We're giving out the instruments, but now I want to make sure that you're able to read on your grade level.
come on now.
So I don't want you to just have this instrument, but you don't know how to read. I want you to be able to read a book, a novel, but I also want you to know how to read music.
Yes.
Because now I'm trying to take you to the next level. It's my job to really assist you to take you to the next level. So that's why it's actually going to be a series of books because, this book hits the elementary level.
Mm-hmm.
The next book gonna hit the middle school level. Next book gonna hit the high school level. Next book gonna hit the college level. The next book gonna hit the adults, the young adults. So it's just every level, man. A lot of our kids are struggling with reading
Mm-hmm.
and they're struggling with math. I've been teaching for 14 years, man, and that's some of the biggest issues. You have a lot of kids that's in the eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade that's on a sixth grade reading level.
Mm.
So it's like, what can I do? Yeah, I don't mind giving you these instruments, but I need you to read. I need you to
Yes.
take out time, whether you read in my book, whether you read in the Bible, whether you read in your book, whatever
Read
book, I need
something.
you to read a book because my grandma told me this. She said, if I want to hide something from some of our people, I'm gonna just put it in a book
Literally. Cause
because I
hey,
know you're gonna do everything else,
but read.
but when you pick up this book, and this happened before, man. When I was young, my grandmother used to make us read two scriptures, and till this
Mm.
day, I know these scriptures by heart. And this is in the book. I talk about this in my book. Psalms 23: The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. Psalms 100: Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye land. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before His presence. See, those scriptures, they here. And I'm a grown man, but from me being in elementary up until now, it stuck with me. But that was a part of our reading. That's why I was able to stay on my grade level reading or even higher because we read the Bible every day.
Come on, man.
You read it every day. You had
Shout
to
out to
read the
grandma.
so that set us up for us to be on the level we're on now. So my thing is this, if you don't read the Bible, I get it. I encourage kids to do it because I feel like, even the acronym for Bible, biblical instructions before leaving earth, I feel like that is so important, it's so imperative. And, even with the three institutions of learning, home, church, school, you taking the church out because none of the kids go to church no more. Not
Mm-hmm.
only that, but a lot of the kids don't understand and they're not taught what love is at home. So now
Mm.
what getting it at is the third places, which is at school. So now it's almost too late because if you got to learn everything that you're supposed to learn at school, you know
Mm.
this type of stuff that go on. So that's not always a healthy place to learn about love, to learn about, you know, who you supposed to be and who's you are, and different things like that. So, but our goal now is we've given over 100 instruments. Now we want to take it to the next level and give thousands and thousands of books all throughout the world, man. That's what we're on right now.
Look, I'm gonna pray that you get millions out.
Listen, that's what we're going. Listen,
Look,
yes,
look,
sir.
I believe that there's nothing that you can't do when you put your mind to it.
Put your mind to
Uh,
it, sir.
so before we leave, I do want you to tell me what made you create the book.
So the reason why I created the book was this. In New Orleans, I feel like I am reaching the majority of the kids in New Orleans, which is great. However, I'm one person, and I know, you know, in order to be great, you have to build a team.
Come on.
So, me building my team, I have a really, really great team. My administrators, they're really, really great people. The musicians that's on staff, they're really great people. And I knew that in order for me to have a greater reach, I would have to create something tangible for kids where
Mm.
they will be able to pick up, put it down, pick it up whenever they want, whenever they need to, whenever they feel like they need to reference something. And I was talking to one of my mentors, and he was just saying, your gift is bigger than just New Orleans.
Come on now.
And it was just confirmation because God showed me that when I was a kid too. And I said, one of the things that I need to do to bring this thing across the world, and not just in New Orleans, but in Louisiana, in America, across the world, is create something that's tangible for kids. And I was like, what else would be better than creating a book and encouraging kids to read, encouraging kids that, mental health is real. Mental
Mhm.
health has risen on a whole nother level in the African American community. You know what I mean? And I feel like it then went on a whole nother level because our kids don't have nobody to talk to. They don't have nobody to relate to them. They don't have, different things like that. So I'm like, if I could create a book and let them know I went through some of the things that they're going through right now. It was times where I didn't know, what was going on with the violence, with the kids teasing me about doing this, talking about me, calling me all kind of names and different things like that. Like, I had to overcome some challenging experiences. And I'm glad it didn't result into violence. And we got to teach our kids that, even if you're not in the best situation, don't always tend to violence. Just
Emotional
somebody
intelligence.
curse you out, you don't have to curse them out. Like, it's okay to be the bigger person. It's okay to understand that you're not on my level. We might be the same age, but we're on two different levels.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because the plan God had for me, he might not have the same. He's not gonna have the same plan for you. However, I can't go about my life doing what everybody else is doing.
It's true.
So I have to learn how to be different. I have to learn how to be a leader. I have to learn how and know that in order for me to be a great leader, I have to be a great follower of a great leader.
Mm.
Know what I mean? So I can't just follow the wrong leader, and me following the wrong person gonna lead me into going into
Destruction.
destruction. I'm not trying to go into destruction. I'm trying to make sure that, you know, I'm fruitful and I'm able to multiply. And the book speaks about this. A good man leave an inheritance not just for his children, but for his children's children. So in order for me to leave an inheritance, when God blessed me with my kids, even with the kids that I teach, I'm like, I have to do something to wherein and have something, some type of product to wherein if God take me here today or tomorrow, somebody will still know my story.
Mm.
Somebody will still be able to be blessed with something that could help change their mindset because it starts here. And I tell
Everything.
parents all the time, you could give kids, the McQueens, the Gucci, the Prada, whatever they wear. You could
But
give
it
them
ain't
all that.
get
That don't mean nothing because all your money is going to waste if you ain't changed this. If you ain't changed their mindset,
nothing.
the kids will tell you that don't mean nothing. And you didn't work hard, you didn't give them everything, and you trying to understand why they still not following what you're asking them to do. That's because you're not putting time up here. You letting them do whatever they want to do versus you being a parent or being an
And
educator and
instructing.
telling them what they need to do. They're a
Instructing.
child. This, so there is no way I could allow a child to make all the decisions for a child.
Come on now.
So, and I share this with some of my parents. I'm like, you in my classroom, yes, I let them voice their opinion, but I have rules and regulations in my classroom. I'm not gonna just say, oh well, I'm gonna just let the kids do whatever they want to do, whatever I don't want to. No, it don't go like
Instruct.
that.
Instruct.
It don't go like that because a kid gonna be a kid. They might play. You might give them a game for Christmas. They're gonna play with it for 2-3 weeks, and then next month
It's over.
they
You
on
spend
to
all
the
your
next
money.
thing. They don't care if you paid $5,000 for it, 1,000. They don't care. It's on to the next thing. But it's like, all right, instead of me fishing for you, I'm gonna teach you how to fish. I'm gonna teach you how to critically think. I'm gonna teach you how to problem solve. I'm gonna teach you how to not get yourself in situations that you can't get out of. You gotta think before you do. You can't just do before you think.
Come on
And
now.
that's the biggest thing, man. So just when I hear kids saying, "Oh, well, I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna see if I can do it. I'm gonna try," and I just
Do it.
act. I said, "What's Nike's slogan?"
Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. And I tell them, I said, if in your situations, before you just do it, make sure you think about what you're doing before you do it, and make a intelligent decision before you just make a decision just because. So that's one of the biggest things, man. It's powerful. That's why I said, man, I encourage everybody to get this book, man. I could be talking for hours about like the impact and just the different stories and about just what it's going to do for every kid that read the book. You know what I mean?
You know
So
what you
like I said, I
created.
definitely appreciate it.
You know what you created. Last thing that I'm gonna do. I need you to give me a word of wisdom. It don't matter who it was, who it is, whether it's youth, somebody been in prison, somebody who have never been or still trying to figure out life. And then last, tell them where they can find the book and where they can find you.
For sure. So the first one is a words of
Word of
wisdom, or
wisdom.
one word.
Word of wisdom.
All right. So words of wisdom. It's a lot, man. So it's hard to kind of narrow it down to one. But I will say, just being consistent with doing the right thing. Consistency pays off. Um, you know, before you ask people to support you, before you look for support in other places, you have to be consistent with making sure that you are giving your all to what you're doing, because before somebody else support you, they got to see that you support you.
Come on now.
And if you don't support you, and what I mean by that is, it's a lot of times that I sacrifice, going party here or going out of town or going this place, going that place, because I knew that my job now funded my organization. I didn't just say, "Oh well, I'm gonna quit and just, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna just do it." So, but I had to come up with a plan, and a lot of people don't plan. And one of my parents told me this: if you fail a plan,
Plan to fail.
you plan to fail. So you have to plan what you're doing. And the Bible says this: write the vision, make it plain. Make it plain, word for word, write it down. Yeah, I know we in this era of computers, iPads, iPhones. I'm old school. Get a
Write the
pen,
vision.
get a pencil, get a sheet of paper, write word for word what the vision is. But the thing is, when you come up with the vision, when you come up with the goal, when you come up with the plan, in order, it's easy to talk about it.
Hmm.
It's a different thing when you execute it.
Come
But
on.
when you execute it, you have to be consistent with the execution. Because if I execute it for only a week and
I
I lay
dropped the
off
ball.
for a month,
I dropped the ball.
you didn't drop the ball. So your execution has to be nonstop. The consistency has to be nonstop. Rain, sleet, or snow, you have to be out there getting it. You have to almost have, well, not almost, you have to have. My favorite player, man, was Kobe Bryant.
Mamba mentality.
The Mamba mentality, bro. Kobe, people ain't understand.
He was working
Yeah,
when they was asleep.
when you sleep, and I tell this to my kids all the time, y'all telling me about, oh, we don't have practice today. I said, man, Kobe didn't wait for the team to have practice. He
He would
got up at
practice.
5 a.m. and he was practicing by himself.
Practice.
So when it was time for the game to be on the line, I can't trust the person with the man said you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. So guess what? If
I'm gonna take the
the
shot.
game on the line,
I'm
I'm
taking
a
the
bet.
shot. I know.
Listen,
Look, I believe in me. If I don't believe in nothing else, because I know the work I put in.
I know the work I put in. You
Look,
wasn't working with me. So I know that I was in the gym at 5 a.m. I was in the gym at 7 a.m. I was in the gym for the team practice. But y'all don't know, before the team practice, I already had 2 practices before that.
come on now.
After the team practice, when y'all going home, when y'all going out with this one, going club, going
I'm
by the
still
bottles,
practicing.
going by the sections, I'm going back in the gym at 5 o'clock tonight. I'm going back in the gym at 8 o'clock tonight and still practice. Why? Because I understand my mentality. In order for me to be a Michael Jordan, or greater than Michael Jordan, I gotta put the time in. I can't do what everybody else is doing. I
Might
can't
not
go
have
out
been.
and
He might not have been as skilled, but he put that much work in to be as skilled. Look, last thing, share them with a book at, because me and you be talking. I know you gotta get back to what you were doing. Look, tell them
listen.
where they can find you, find your books.
Listen, you can find a book. You could go on Amazon, Amazon.com, and just type in The Little Music Boy. It'll pop up. Or you could go on my website, nolakeys.org. Nolakeys.org. That's NOLAKEYS.org. Just go to the website and the book will pop up. You'll see some other things too, whether if you want to donate to our organization, if you want to get a book, if you want to, we have our big annual gala coming up in December, it's December 7th. So if you want to take a trip to New Orleans, find an excuse to come to New Orleans, listen, it's the best time to come. This is our second annual gala, man. And what the gala is for is to, make sure we bring everybody together so they could see all the work that we have done that year and the years prior to that. But listen, this is the best book that is probably out in America right now. The hottest book is #1 on the new releases on Amazon. So we at the top of the charts right now for kids books. So I'm excited. So make sure you go to nolakeys.org and get the copy of your book. Or if you want to get multiple copies and pass them out at the church, at your school, birthday party, Christmas coming up, whatever you want to do, make sure you get your copies.
Go get your copy. Look, one, I want to thank you once again for all the work that you done. Thank you for your service.
Yes,
It's
sir.
important and it's needed. So with that, look, I love you, bro. My name is Carlos Walker. This is Art and Hustle, Black Authors Matter, and this is Mr. Edwards. Blessings.
Black Authors Matter.